was looking at it, but now he's making a story up. I did not say that to him about telling him you can't carry a gun, and he's making up a story about open carry. I know that, but you're over there threatening to bury me and Mr. Belfort and calling me a psychopath. Now it sounds like his attorney, Patrick Millsap, has said that. I don't know.
I don't know what those laws are, but I carried this thing since 1981. Right. So we got into an argument about that, and then he started yelling at me and shit, and I just drove off. And that's it.
Gotcha. So just to make things clear of what you're telling me, you were riding your quad on your property, correct? When this interaction happened?
Yes, sir. I was on my property, on the road, heading up. You know, I've got property on both sides of the road for about a couple miles.
Okay.
He was on a public access roadway. And this guy clearly impedes our access to our properties with his threats and menacing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a choke point through there, and it's not, it doesn't bother me that much, but there's other people that are complaining about it, you know, so here we go.
It was on the road it occurred.
Okay, gotcha. And like, what did he do that kind of like initiated? How did you know, like, hey, he wants to talk, or you know, like what was his action?
I rolled down his window and started waving at me to come down.
Okay, that's not true. Okay, he yelled at me. I moved over to the side of the road. I saw him coming up on his quad. I moved over the side. It's along his property at 3600 Wilcox Ranch Road. He yelled at me. I was just going slow to give him room, and he yelled at me, and then he went a little bit past, and then he backed up, and I rolled the window down, and he started going off and said, I heard you got your ass beat in court yesterday. That's how it started. Okay, and that's just simply not true. And that's what I told him. That's not true. We got to check. And then he just started flipping out and said he's going to bury us out there, and you know, cussing and spitting and spattering, hovering over me with that firearm there. Tell me he's going to bury us. Okay, let's go on.
Come back. When I passed him on the right side, he was heading down, I was heading up.
Okay, gotcha. So you guys were passing each other. He stopped. Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys were passing each other on the road. He stopped, rolled down his window, and then you turned around or backed up, rather?
Hey, James Lee Shrek, you're a liar. I'm calling you out. You know that didn't happen. You're a liar.
Yeah, he started talking about the road issue, and then it kind of exploded from there.
Right. I apologize.
Shut up, deputy. I should have shut up. This man has been continually harassing the community over 3 years. It's to the point where it's explosive here.
That's straight up a lie. What do you say about that, John?
I couldn't really hear you.
He's saying that I've been harassing the community for 3 years.
Yeah. Oh God, I mean, if you call exposing racketeers and embezzlers, well, yeah, I guess we're harassing members of the community, I believe is what he said. But I mean, do we not have the right? They're stealing the money. He's impeding. He's devaluing our properties intentionally, and everything that's come to light about the lands bill and the development back here and what's going on right next to me at Zero Colorado Springs, it's clear what's going on. Not to mention the fact that he's purchased, since he voted for the perpetuity in 2018, he's purchased another 6 or 7 properties.
Yeah.
It's clear what's going on. He's a massive.
And they went around some of the title companies, and we told the title companies. He went around at least two of the title companies when he bought the next two properties, and then they decided, then they were having the title companies call me. And I told them we had to stay it because someone turned us into the Secretary of State after they put me in there. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I was sold defective title from day one, and they were taking money from us and representing. They were doing all this stuff, and this is dishonest services, honest services fraud.
It's one of those catch-22s. Either way, whichever story flies that they're given, they're wrong.
Well, first it was the contract expired in 2001, okay, and
that was 2019.
And then he goes to 2019, and now it's, we've heard some other ones, now 2022, and there's never been any motion to dissolve this thing.
There's never been any legal adjudication of any of this. So as far as I'm concerned, it still exists.
Well, we have defective title. I mean, Gail Kern's an attorney, and she has liens on our property. So I don't really understand. And we have all their votes in there, where they had just enough votes to. It was supposed to expire in 2030, but they put it in 2018. They put it in a perpetuity, and James Lee Schreck had 5 votes on it because they had 5 properties. So I mean, who's lying here? And then you had Gail Kern under notary seal go put it in his perpetuity. I'm confused about my property title.
That's still there as her as the lien holder.
Yeah, and I'm confused because I thought we were buying road maintenance here, and we didn't have to do that. We don't have the equipment, and the roads are shot, and everyone's complaining about it. I didn't do any of this. So we were sold fraudulent, defective title from the beginning. They were all profiting, including James Lee Schreck, and now they're going to try, it doesn't exist. There's never been any dissolution of it. They put me in there. Bob and Natalie were running this thing. I was trying to clean it up. And this guy, James Lee Schreck, is trying to say that I'm committing fraud. He's the fraudster. He's leaning on my title rights, and he's responsible for all the damages of everything to bring those roads up to code, or they need a ruling and tell me somebody's responsible. Gail Kern was taking properties, and Washoe County was profiting, and now their tax assessor is raising our taxes up and assessing us taxes every year when we told them about the roads. We have no emergency services back there. They cannot get a fire truck up in that canyon. You can't even get equipment in there to get stuff around. James Lee Schreck wants to control those roads. Okay, that's not what I was sold. I don't know about you, but I wasn't sold that on the property title. I thought we had road maintenance. It was, at the time, $150 a year.
These people ruled that association. I've lived on this road for like 16 years, and those people ruled that association with the iron hand and bullied everybody around with their authority. Now they're saying it hasn't. He's signing declarations that it hasn't existed since 2001.
Well, what about wait a minute. What about the perpetuity vote by the Secretary of State that they filed with the attorneys? I mean, what's going on here? Okay, so somebody's responsible for damage. I was sold faulty title. And I know they attacked on you, and they made I looked at some of your court papers. That was before me. I wasn't involved in that, but I saw they made all these representations. And inside the books and records, we got them in there. The former vice president talking about prescriptive easements, eminent domain, and protective orders against you, and trying to go after you for the court costs and countersue you.
At the time of the first incident, June 6, 2018, I believe it was, they were not in compliance with any of the state laws as far as a non-profit property owner.
They were taking all the checks. All the checks were going to the Narings and Moose Guards with no accounting for any of it. That's why there's never any base, nothing put down. Like I said, I didn't do it. I found it, And I read all the stuff that they did in the perpetuity vote and all the stuff from the threat letters from Gail Kern on multiple properties, not just yours, multiple properties, filing, recording liens in the county record, and then taking it, and the county winding up with $33,000, and now they're refusing to tell me where that money's gone. Okay, this is a racketeering operation.
An interesting thing is that letter from Metzner.
Yeah.
That he had a pretty high-powered Bay Area attorney send them about a 5-page letter threatening them and detailing all these goings-on. James Lee Schreck purchased his property 6 years ago at high market value of like $427,000 just to shut him up.
Well, I don't know for what reason, but the thing is, Mr. Meisner, and that letter you're talking about is inside the criminal complaint, the criminal claims against Robert and Natalie Nering. But I don't think, we didn't know, Meisner didn't know what was going on, and he was complaining that they weren't doing the road up there, and he couldn't even get up there. Okay, but they were taking all this money, and there's no accounting for it. Hey, man, let me tell you something. These people were stealing the money. There's no accounting for any of it. And that's how this all started. But all I know is my title is defective, and these people are responsible for the damage to get those roads back together to where we could get a fire truck up there. Because, you know, they're not. This is going to go to federal court. The state of Nevada, they're refusing to do their duty, and they're taxing us and profiting. They're back there subdividing after the fact. Truckee Meadows is rubber stamping subdivisions when we don't have road access and it's not up to code. And this James Lee Schreck, he's the head of this thing. And these other people, there's some other people here that did it. Here they are here. Jeff Hill, Cody Hill, Clyde Twyman, Dale Franklin, Brett Moten, his partner Galouz, I don't know her first name, Bob Stadmiller. Okay, they're all saying this, but all these people, except for Cody Hill, voted the perpetuity in. So what's going on? We have a perpetuity fraud on our titles, and they're refusing to do anything about it. And this, every day that goes by, we are damaged. It's $1,000 a day damage. And the Washoe County is refusing their duty, and we've told Mary Candaris about it. Something happens to someone up there, they're responsible for this. We have defective title, and James Lee Schreck is the head of this operation. Okay? And I call him out as a liar. What he's saying in that thing, he lied to the sheriffs. I don't care. If he doesn't like it, sue me. I'm ready to take this into federal court. You're leaning on my title and everyone else's title. Any final words, John?
We're just going to continue to expose these racketeers.
Yeah, they've damaged me so bad. Okay, they're threatening me up there. I don't feel safe. Okay, the roads aren't safe. My dad's 82 years old, and you can't get a fire truck up in there with, you know, anybody that has a heart condition, and they're doing all this stuff. I'm damaged. They're all responsible, including all the attorneys. I want them all disbarred, and I want these people down at the county fired for their public corruption.
All right. We might have to make a part 2 on this, Jeff.